Welcome, everyone, to a Katz chat here for the Missouri Valley Conference. I'm Andy Katz. Pleased to be joined by Roger Powell from Valparaiso. Roger, a little bit of a rough patch before Chicago State. You've had the moments. Isaiah Stafford is a stat stuffer so far this season. Where is this team as we get closer to the holidays and then get back into the Valley after the first of the year?
Man, we're growing, to be honest, and obviously the results are, the last four games you haven't seen them, but our guys are competing. We've had some guys banged up, so when you already got a team with not a lot of experience and you got a lot of young guys and you sustain a couple of injuries, man, it's tough to, be the weather the storm, especially on the road. But with that being said, I knew this was going to be a hard opportunity, and in a weird way, I kind of like that adversity we faced, and now that we can hopefully kind of get back healthy a bit, it'd be interesting to see kind of how we finish out the year. But I'm positive. I think we're getting a lot of experiences for these young guys that they need to go through, and I'm excited to see kind of how you respond these next two games.
So let's talk specifically about Stafford. Putting up great numbers. How has he impacted each game?
He can really score for us, which has been great. His scoring ability. We have six freshmen and two sophomores. One that was transferred to Murray State that didn't play a whole lot his freshman year. He came from JUCO, so he won a JUCO national championship. And he's a junior, so he's an older guy that, although he doesn't have that, in Heat Division I experience, he's older and he's won. So I think that's been really good to kind of weather the storm and get these other younger guys up to speed. But as you can see with even the Cooper Stringer kid, he was great early as a freshman, but then now he's become a major piece of the scouting report. So he's having to adjust to that, and I think Isaiah has kind of helped carry the load, as those other guys tend to get up to speed.
Roster management, I don't care what level you're at, is a major concern. Transfers in, transfers out. We're seeing actually transfers from the Valley, and you suffered one of these, be highly successful in the Big Ten. What's the hardest part of not trying to limit a player's ability to improve their status, their stature, but at the same time, try to get them to commit to a program like in the Valley where you can be very successful and there is a path to a deep run in March?
It is, and obviously I was a part of Gonzaga where, I guess you can say the WCC, it is what it is, but it's not the Big Ten, the ACC, or, whatever these other Power Five leagues are. But we had a lot of guys that end up being very successful and end up being NBA draft picks. So, my experience with that. And then, when I was here at Valpo in the past, perfect example for me is an Alec Peters kid who, I recruited from Peoria, Illinois, or Washington, Illinois, right outside of Peoria. He was at Valpo and he ended up being all league, player of the year, NBA draft pick, all-time leading scorer, all-time leading rebounder. And, if he transfers and goes to a Big Ten school, I think he's a great player, but you have to start from scratch. And I think legacy is important. And some of the guys I have, especially this Cooper kid and some of the other kids that we recruit, these young kids, it's like, man, legacy is important. And I think I do a good job of building that vision for them. But then also relationship is important. And that's kind of who I am as a coach. Like, I'm very relational. And I think the guys feel that. And painting the vision, having a platform for them to be successful in a great league as the Missouri Valley, which it is, I think those things help. And at least that's kind of how I'm going about it.
So you were part of some great teams as an assistant, one of the best teams in the last 25 years as a player. What did you see, especially as a player, that you love to mimic in terms of that kind of chemistry that you guys had at Illinois, that you could potentially see as a head coach if you can build it the right way?
Well, I think you mentioned obviously the 2005 team. We were one of the best of all time. 2021 team, um, Gonzaga was also one of the best teams all time. The team I coached at Gonzaga. One of the things that I think I've seen from that is, it was built with like 4-year guys, and 4-year guys that actually stuck it out and were a part of the building. You think of Illinois. Like I was at Illinois for 4 years. D Brown 3 years. Darren Williams. James Augustine, Luther Head 4 years. So the Gonzaga team. You had guys like Corey Kispert, Joel Ayayi. Like those are 3-year, 4-year guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think having the nucleus of those guys, even our team when I was at Valpo with Bryce that won 30 games and went to the NIT championship, we had guys that were 4-year guys at Valpo. Now, we supplemented with some older transfers, over time, but our nucleus were guys like, Cooper Schriger, guys that actually, were at Valpo, for their career. And that's kind of the reason I built this the way I did. I didn't go out and just try to sign all transfers. Plus, I didn't have the time to do it because I got the job a little bit late. But I wanted to build with like a young nucleus, freshmen and sophomores that are going to be here for some time. And then hopefully next year and over time, I'll be able to add some transfers that can impact us. And I think that's the way you got to build it. Some guys do it differently, but at least that's what I've seen work. And yeah, we may have some growing pains this year, and we may have some struggles this year from a lack of experience, but it's going to be beautiful seeing the growth that's going to take place with our chemistry and some guys that are bought into Valpo.
There's a great belief in the Valley this year that it could be a multiple bid league. We'll see how Drake and Indiana State, 2 examples, if they can maintain this.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to take for this league to have the depth in March that we're starting to see a little how the teams are playing here in November, December?
Just the consistency, and obviously Valpo, I mean, this is my first year. We got to continue to grow and get better. I think you've seen it with Evansville and some of the other teams. They're getting better. And then we have to do a good job in the non-conference. And some of the teams in our league have done a great job. One of the things that I didn't do my team. I didn't hand them an easy schedule. Like we played at Illinois, we played at Virginia Tech, and we played Green Bay, who just beat UIC. Southern. We played Southern, a Southern team that went to UNLV and won, and Missouri, Mississippi State won. Top 25. So like we didn't play a bunch of cupcakes in this schedule, and a lot of people were asking me, "Hey, do you want to play 2 non-D1s? Do you want to do this? Do you want to get a soft schedule?" And I was like, "No." I think the adversity is important, and going forward, I don't want to build this program that way. So I think all those things, what other teams in the league have done, I think it's going to help us sustain who we are. And part of the allure for me to come back to Valpo was, man, Missouri Valley, it's a great conference, and this conference has had multiple teams that have made to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? This conference is, it's had multiple bids in years, so. I like where we are. I like where we're going. And as we get Valpo kind of rolling, we're going to help assist the league with, being respected like it already is.
Roger, I have total faith you're going to get this done. You have great belief system, great confidence in yourself, and an unbelievable track record wherever you've been. Appreciate your time, and we're going to be tracking how Valpo does going forward.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Andy.
You too.